94.1 FM. Coming up on the show today, we'll be taking a look at some very important conversations. And the very first one will be about the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and what is happening in the United States of America. We know that he's in the grips of ICE. The Ghanaian embassy in the U.S. released a statement. We'll get into all of that on the show, try to interrogate and understand what the situation is like. And also this morning, the finance minister posted on his social media platforms that the government has cleared energy sector debt of about $1.4 billion. We'll get to talk about that also on the show. What does this mean for us? We know that the IPGs have commended the government for clearing this particular debt. We've also seen from the former finance minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, he's also shared a few things on his social media and is saying that the NDC is just playing PR with this particular one. We'll get to talk about all of that. So make sure that you're not moving an inch, you're staying here, right here on Metro TV. For now, Dominic has surprised, standing by to bring us the latest news updates. Dominic, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Desi. I'm doing so well. How are you doing?
I'm okay, by God's grace. We're back here definitely to do the work. And I know you have lots of stories, so please take it that way.
A lot of stories. Headlines is up next. And now the 2026 Jospon Leadership Conference kicks off with a call from Executive Chairman Dr. Xiao Ejapon to staff across the various clusters to dare to become generational leaders. And now moving on, government clears a total of $1.47 billion in energy sector debts within its first year in office. A move it says has restored the World Bank's partial risk guarantee and stabilized the country's power sector. And now also coming up, Attorney General and Minister for Justice Dominic Ayine, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has revealed that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta did not merely overstay his visa in the United States, but that he was formally revoked. We will delve into the current state of the ICE detention and efforts by the Ghana embassy to assist him. This and many other more coming your way in 30 minutes. Do stay. We'll be right back. A very good afternoon to you, and now let's take our very first story. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has revealed that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta did not merely overstay his visa in the United States, but that it was formally revoked. According to Dr. Ayine, U.S. authorities had initially given Ofori-Atta until November 29, 2025 to leave the country, but he failed to comply. He stressed that the revocation was deliberate, connected to ongoing investigations, and not a routine immigration matter. Let's take a listen.
Ladomo did a show here where he said a Stanford lawyer and you are afraid of lawyers in America. I'm not afraid of them.
He's not the only one who was unhappy.
No, but nobody ought to be unhappy because John Ashcroft, the former attorney, general of the United States of America, all right, called me and said he was the one representing, Ken Ofori-Atta in the matter. But his concerns, that the reason he called me was for me to assure him that when Ken is returned to Ghana, all right, he will get a fair trial. And I assured him of the fact that under this government, and in accordance with Article 19 of the Constitution, his right to a fair trial is guaranteed. No one is going to, Ken Ofori-Atta is not he's not the person that will come here and we're going to treat him very shabbily and so on and so forth. He will be accorded due process of law, his fair trial rights will be guaranteed and so on. So I talked with John Ashcroft, but at the time, I could not, including the lawyer, Izinat, the one, the lawyer who granted the interview.
That's right.
So there were three of them, three lawyers who spoke to me via, a Zoom on that day when they were expressing concerns. Okay. So at that point in time, it was confidential. I could not mention John Ashcroft as his lawyer. All right. But I was simply saying.
And now moving on to do some other stories. The Jospon Leadership Conference 2026 commenced today, January 12th, at the Pentecost Convention Center in Gomoa-Fete in the Central Region. The 5-day conference is being held under the theme, Building Tomorrow's Leaders Today. Organized by the Jospon Group of Companies, the annual Leadership Summit brings together business executives and emerging leaders for daily session focused on leadership development, strategic decision-making, and long-term value creation. Executive Chairman of the Jospon Group of Companies, Dr. Joseph Siao Ejapon, has urged staff across the various clusters of the group to dare to become generational leaders. Speaking at the opening session, he challenged participants to think beyond immediate success and commit to leadership that creates lasting impact for future generations. Here are excerpts.
Our theme for this year, Building Tomorrow's Leaders Today, captures a strategic truth. The future does not begin 10 years from now. It begins with decisions, discipline, and the leadership we demonstrate today. Today's world demands more than operational excellence. It demands foresight, adaptability, innovation, and above all, leadership. As a group that has grown from a single printing press in the year 1995 into a multi-industry conglomerate with impact across Africa and beyond, we stand as a living proof that leadership is not a title. It is a responsibility, an attitude, and a mission. Today, we are called to ensure that this culture of leadership continues. The next generation of strategic thinkers, innovators, cluster heads, and managing directors must not emerge accidentally. They must intentionally develop. They must not emerge that will be looking for people. But today we must all decide that we have our future managing directors, our CEOs, and everyone here, and we must intentionally develop them. Leadership, as we all know, is not merely about authority or position. It is about responsibility, influence, and the capacity to create solutions. It is about foresight, adaptability, and character. It is about preparing others to go further, achieve more, and carry the mission with strength and passion. This conference is more than a gathering. It is a leadership laboratory. It is a platform for corporate learning, alignment, and exchange. Over the few days, we will discuss strategy, culture, performance, risks, innovation, and people development. I ask that we do so with open minds, unwavering professionalism, and a shared commitment to excellence. Let us remember that building tomorrow's leaders today requires strong mentorship and succession planning, continuous training and global exposure, clear values and institutional discipline, accountability and ethical leadership, innovation and digital readiness.
Well, that was the leadership conference happening in Gomoa-Fete. We'll be going for more, but then let's do some other stories. One of the spokesperson for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia Miracles Abuaji has questioned the competence of the current government, accusing it of being the #1 enabler of illegal mining. Speaking at the forum's People's Forum, he claimed the NDC has created a free environment for Galamsey to flourish, described NIMOS as merely a redeployment of existing soldiers rather than a new achievement, and challenged the government to point to a single concrete policy that has improved Ghana's economy.
The president's backyard in Bole, there's Galamsey. Sami Jemfi said Akufo-Addo was complicit because Galamsey was in Chebi. John Mahama, His Excellency, in his own backyard. In Bole, there is Galamsey. Even the voter, the black voter, which is the last one standing under the NDC government, they've taken Galamsey there. And then they tell us that 12 months, they have done so well, and that we should clap for them. When the basic, simplest things that they promised us, that they would do in 2 weeks, the president said he was going to fight Galamsey with AI. Has he done it? The president said he was going to ensure that there is no mining in our forest reserves. Has he done it? In fact, they told us that because Akufo-Addo has introduced an LI that allows the president to grant licenses for mining in the forest areas. That is why there is Galamsey. And now when they come, they will repeal the LI. And when they repeal the LI, Galamsey will stop. The LI has been repealed. Has Galamsey stopped? Today, the #1 enabler of Galamsey in Ghana is the NDC government at the Jubilee House. They are the one buying the gold. They have provided free markets for the illegal miners. They destroy our forests and our river bodies. They bring out the gold, and the government begs them to sell the gold to them. And then when you tell them, fight Galamsey, they tell you we have NIMOS. NIMOS is just soldier and military chasing people. That is something you came to meet even when you were handing over, when you were receiving the handing over notes from Nana Akufo-Addo in January 2025. So you haven't done anything new. I am challenging the government to mention one new thing, one new thing they have introduced in the fight against Galamsey since they took office. Zero. None. Not a single new thing has the government done. And they tell us to keep quiet. You know why? They think they will succeed in shutting everybody up. Because the CSOs, the individuals and the CSOs who are fighting on the street, they've all gone for appointments. All of them. All of them have gone for appointments. And they are sitting at the table with the president. And together, they are enabling Galamseyers and begging them to sell gold to them. And so nobody is speaking up. The people would speak. And when the people speak and you have ears, you listen. If you decide to be stubborn and not listen, there will eventually be consequences.
And now the Member of Parliament for South Dai constituency, Roxanne Nelson Defiamekpo, was commending the contractor of working on the 24-kilometer road projects allocated to the constituency under the Big Push initiative by the President John Dramani Mahama-led government. According to him, the speed of work and the quality of construction so far give him confidence that the project will be completed ahead of schedule timeline. First phase of the upgrading of over 24 kilometers of roads in the South Dai district under the Big Push initiative, supervised by the Department of Feeder Roads, includes the Todome, Balime, Gemini Road and the Gemini Township Roads. Speaking to the media after touring the roads to access the scope and progress of work, the Member of Parliament, Roxanne Nelson Defiamekpo, expressed satisfaction with the quality of work done so far and commended the contractor for the professionalism demonstrated.
I have to commend the contractor. A lot of contractors have taken jobs this last year to undertake, but Sanam has been one of the most outstanding, if not the most outstanding. You've seen his handiwork. It's not merely about the alacrity and the speed at which it's working, but the quality of the construction that he's undertaking. The national director came with a lot of technical people to test quality of concrete, quality of iron rods and all, and he passed with flying colors. So we must commend him.
The Majority Chief Whip further expressed gratitude to the President and appealed for the award of the second phase of the project.
We are going to have another 40 kilometers of the phase 2. This is 24 kilometers, but the phase 2 will be about 40 kilometers. And so that's why the Federal Roads Director came to appreciate the border that I give him all the time.
Meanwhile, the District Chief Executive for South Dai, Courage, Kwame Kokroko, expressed appreciation and confidence in the government.
This road has been in a terrible situation for a long time now, like my MP said. But thank God, with the coming of GM, just barely a year ago, we have all seen what has been done so far. I want to commend the contractor. I've always been with them. They are doing a good job.
And our residents, especially the youth of Botoku traditional area in the North Dai district of the Volta region, have expressed deep concern and agitation over the ongoing chieftaincy dispute in the area. According to them, the traditional area has no substantive paramount chief to provide leadership, unify among the people, and champion developmental projects. They are therefore calling on government and other stakeholders to urgently find an amicable solution to the matter. One of the largest traditional areas and farming communities in the North Dai district is regarded as a major food basket of the district. Despite its significant contributions to the internally generated revenue of the assembly, the area continues to lag behind in development as a result of the chieftaincy dispute that has plagued the community for several years. The dispute involves the Kpali clan and the Klejasi clan, both of whom lay claim to the paramount stool of the Botoku traditional area. Residents say the unresolved conflict has stalled several key development projects. The youth of the area have therefore appealed to relevant authorities and stakeholders to intervene urgently to help resolve the dispute.
Development cannot take place. Any development meant for the community does not come, and we, the citizens, are the ones suffering because of this dispute.
The chieftaincy issue is seriously affecting us. It has divided the youth, and we are no longer united as a community.
The chieftaincy dispute in our community is our biggest challenge. It is preventing the community from progressing as expected. We are appealing to the government to urgently intervene and resolve the issue amicably.
Meanwhile, the parish pastor of the Evangelical Presbyterian EP Church, Reverend R.K. Avo, has urged the two factions to come together in unity and resolve the dispute to restore peace, harmony, and development in the community.
Any community which is not united, there can never be any development. So it is up to the elderly people in this town to sit down. Even if the case is in court, they will have to sit down. No matter how it is, they are suffering. They will have to sit down, solve this issue amicably, go to the court, withdraw the case from the court.
And now the government of Ghana says it has cleared a total of $1.47 billion in energy sector debts within its first year in office, a move it says has restored the World Bank's partial risks guarantee and stabilized the country's power sector.
According to the Ministry of Finance, the Mahama administration inherited an energy sector burdened by years of unpaid gas bills, particularly from supplies from the offshore Cape 3 Points field. The non-payment, the ministry noted, led to the complete depletion of the World Bank's $500 million partial risk guarantee, which had been established in 2015 to support the Sankofa gas project and attract private sector investment. As of December 31, 2025, government says it has fully repaid over $597 million, including interest drawn on the guarantee, effectively restoring the facility and Ghana's credibility with international partners. In addition, outstanding gas invoices of about $480 million owed to ENI and Vitol have also been settled, with budgetary measures put in place to prevent future arrears. The ministry describes the intervention as a major turnaround for Ghana's energy sector and a signal of renewed fiscal discipline. The ministry stated that the government has also engaged upstream partners, including Tullow Oil and Jubilee Field Partners, to agree on a roadmap that ensures full payment of gas supplied, supports reliable electricity generation, and boosts industrial growth. It added that increased gas production has already been achieved through these engagements aimed at reducing reliance on expensive liquid fuels. The Finance Ministry assured the public and industry stakeholders that adequate budget.
And now let's cross over to Gomoa Fete, where the Jospon Leadership Conference 2026 is taking place. My colleague Kwesi Kwetia is standing by to give us some updates. Kwesi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, Dominic, and good afternoon to our viewers. And it's 5 days of conference, leadership conference happening right here at Gomoa Fete, the Pentecost Convention Center. We've had about 5 speakers so far. Our EC executive chairman actually spoke, pushing all the conglomerates to make sure that they are thinking like generational leaders. So I'll be speaking to the Chief Corporate Communication Officer, who would be talking to us about the 5 days, what we should be expecting, and also what will be happening here. And I'm talking about Madam Sophia Kujoji. Well, I'm going to be speaking to her. She's right here with me. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
And thank you very much for joining us on Newsbeat.
Thank you so much.
All right, so quickly, I would want to find out from you your expectations for the 5 days of this wonderful leadership conference that we're having here.
I think that leadership, the Jospon Leadership Conference has turned out to be one of the most important leadership conferences in Ghana today, if not in Africa, because we take teams and build it up to levels. And it's always about what the future has for us. This year, we're talking about building tomorrow's leaders today. What are we talking about? By the grace of God, last year, the Jospon Group had the opportunity of entering 25 African countries. Who are the leaders who are going to take over those, positions? Who are going to take care of those facilities, everything that is going to be done there? So we are building the leaders from here today who will be taking care of those facilities when we're done. So the expectation of this 5 days is to listen to leaders who are time-tested leaders, sharing their experiences, giving us nuggets, giving us gems, giving us ideas, and inspirations to be able to stand up and do what they are also doing. I mean, if you look at the executive chairman, Dr. Joseph Sian Ejapong, this is somebody that I don't know how the Lord created him, but he's so full of ideas, he's so resilient, he's a fighter, he's a risk taker, he's somebody who knows what he's about, he has a vision, and he pushes for it to be executed. These are the kind of leaders we need for the African, business that the Lord is taking us into. So this 5 days is just to listen to people and share their ideas, share nuggets with us. Some leadership, steps that we have to take and all that to make sure that we build the people we want to send into these African countries. As the executive chairman said, if you want to build your leaders for tomorrow, you should have even started yesterday.
That's true.
So capacity building is a major thing of what we're doing here today.
All right, so I also heard EC talking about the fact that the retirees are going to be brought back so that they can be taken to the various African countries that Jospon Group of companies are now working in. And I know that it's also another role of leadership that we're giving to the retirees. How come that he decided, together with the group, decided that, okay, this is the way that we should go? Even though these people have retired, let us call them back and work with them.
It's all about combining the old and the new. The old has experience, the new has enthusiasm, they have the strength, they have the energy, everything that it takes. So the old people are coming in to help shape the younger ones yes, you have a lot of vibrancy and all that, but you have to be directed and guided, and that is why the old people are being brought on board to help, and they have so much experience. We can't let them go like that, you know. And these are people, I would say, you wouldn't say that they have written books for people to read, so they have to impact the next generation. Just one group for the past 2-3 years, I've been talking about the next generation of workers, the next generation of leaders. And these are the people who are supposed to help train the next generation so that they are grounded, you know, in ideas and all that. And then they also have the vibrancy to be able to execute what they are being taught.
All right. So last year I was here and we had no idea that Just One Group of companies will be working in 25 African countries. I would want you to share some of the key leadership skills of our EC. I'm talking about Dr. Joseph Sian Ejapong. That actually led to some of these wondrous things that are happening for the Just One Group of companies this year.
But as I said earlier, one, his is a gift from God. I must say that. He's among those who say that leaders are born, you know, and he's somebody who will tell you, if you ask him his leadership skills, he will tell you it's the grace of God. One, we don't deny the power of God and the grace of God in building this company and in creating somebody like Dr. Joseph Sian Ejapong and giving him what it takes to lead. One. Two, he's a very resilient person. He doesn't listen to the word no. It doesn't exist in him. Things, if he sees something he wants, it must be done, and he pushes for that. He's, I call him a dangerous risk taker. He doesn't fear risk. He doesn't fear risk. He's somebody who, where you say there is risk, that's where he wants to go, because he believes that if somebody has done it before, it can be done. And even if somebody has not done it yet, somebody can start it. You know, so he's that kind of personality. He's somebody who is extremely humble, very humble, ready to learn, ready to listen to ideas. He loves taking ideas from people and seeing how this idea can be developed into something big. So his humility is something that is unmatched. And so much more about him that I think time will not be enough to share.
All right, so thank you very much, Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Madam Sofa Kujoji, for speaking to us right here. All right, so thank you, and I wish you the best of the conference. We're going to be here with you, and we know that definitely leaders are definitely going to be mentored right here.
People should also follow the social media handles of Just One Group of companies and all that, and you can be part of the program.
Well, that's it right from Gomoa Fete, where the Leadership Conference 2026 is happening. That was my colleague, Kwesi Kwetia, interacting with the Corporate Affairs Communications Office of the Just One Group of Company. It's clear. It's a long week. Friday ends it. We are building leaders for tomorrow. This is where we draw the curtains for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana with me, Dominic Nana Kwame Nansapra, crossing over to Desmond Okrekudanso for the rest of the show.
Right, Dominic, thank you very much for bringing us the news updates. So watching Good Afternoon, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're delving into the conversations I mentioned earlier. Today we're taking a look at the case of the former Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and his detention at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Center in the U.S. We'll get to understand the chronology of events, try and speak to Frank Davis, who's part of the legal team for the former Finance Minister, and also private legal practitioner Prince Ganaku will be joining us on that particular conversation. And then later we'll be taking a look at the energy sector in the country. Well, the Finance Minister says they've paid all the debt, 1.4 billion. We'll get to talk about that. Also, so stay with us. We're live on 94.1 FM, 277 on DSTV, and also on Facebook, Metro TV, Ghana. My name is Desmond Okrekudanso. As we're taking a break, we'll be back shortly.
The festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Good morning, Mr. Ding.
Good morning, Ejako. And why do you keep staring at my rubbish container?
I'm surprised you're still using a bin without a cover. You know it can cause a mess.
My bin is just fine. Look, there is no leakage, still solid and robust. If you will excuse me, I have work to do.
Yo.
Dustbins are a great way of keeping trash off the streets and homes. However, the use of bins without fitting covers pose a challenge with stench from rotten items, flies and scavengers. Keep the environment clean and healthy. Get dustbins with fitting covers.
Paul Adomochuri did a show here where he said a Stanford lawyer and you are afraid of lawyers in America. I'm not afraid of them.
He's not the only one who was unhappy.
No, but nobody ought to be unhappy because John Ashcroft, the former attorney, general of the United States of America, all right, called me and said he was the one representing, Ken Ofori-Atta in the matter. But his concerns, that the reason he called me was for me to assure him that when Ken is returned to Ghana, all right, he will get a fair trial. And I assured him of the fact that under this government, and in accordance with Article 19 of the Constitution, his right to a fair trial is guaranteed. No one is going to, Ken Ofori-Atta is not he's not the person that will come here and we're going to treat him very shabbily and so on and so forth. He will be accorded due process of law. His fair trial rights will be guaranteed and so on. So I talked with John Ashcroft, but at the time, I could not, including the lawyer Ezinat, the lawyer who granted the interview.
That's right.
So there were three of them, three lawyers who spoke to me via, a Zoom on that day when they were expressing concerns. Okay. So at that point in time, it was confidential. I could not mention John Ashcroft as his lawyer. All right. But I was simply saying.
Right, so there you had the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Anyone, speaking there about the former Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. And we're going to get right into it. We have a member of the legal team for Mr. Ofori-Atta, lawyer Frank Davis, is joining us via phone. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on Good Afternoon,
Good
Ghana.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Good
Great.
afternoon.
So it's been quite an eventful weekend right into this. How's the team faring and Mr. Ofori-Atta?
Good afternoon once again to your cherished listeners, esteemed viewers as always. Ken, as I always say, is being kept by the Almighty good Lord God, who keeps all of us, including yourself and I. The team is doing well. There's nothing which is ruffling the team. It's a day at a time, and we take every step as and when it occasions. Yeah.
So the information about his detention at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) in the U.S. came out, and a lot of conversations came out, around it. And then the embassy, Ghana's embassy in the U.S. released a statement. You've seen the statement. What was your first reaction to that?
I have indeed seen the statement, and I asked myself, what was the point and need for it? What was the point? At what stage in time did the Ghana embassy in the United States realize or get to know that Ken was in ICE detention? I mean, and even if Ken is in ICE detention, are they the ones to assist him? But Ken has lawyers. He has representation by lawyers. So, I mean, whatever it is, his lawyers will deal with the matter. And rightfully so, he told the Ghana embassy if they have any dealing at all in the matter, they should deal with his lawyers. I mean, where he is, I mean, what are they going to do with him? He's in ICE custody, and they know the machinations which have gone on for him to be there. So what is it? He has good enough representation by lawyers that your Attorney General, the Attorney General of the Republic, has himself classified as a highly experienced and crack legal team. So they should leave the lawyers to do their work.
Right, but Lawyer Davis, you would agree that the embassy is supposed to look out for nationals in another country. So in this case, we are talking about the U.S. So anybody that's got any issue with the law in the U.S., the embassy is supposed to help with that. For the past few days, we've seen that that is Ghana's ambassador to the U.S. went to the detention center earlier, met some people who were at the center. So it is just their role to play in that. Don't you agree?
Have I said otherwise? They extended due courtesies to Ken Ofori-Atta. I am not in any way agreeing with that. I'm saying that when they got to him, he said if they have any dealings with him, they should contact his lawyers because the matter was in court. I mean, court processes have been activated. I mean, what is so wrong about that? I have not said otherwise than what you say. The courtesies were extended, and he gave a curt answer that if you want to engage me, please engage my lawyers because I have lawyers who are dealing with the matter. I mean, is it not a fair response?
Right. So what has the outcome been so far in the past few days as the lawyers have been working on this particular situation?
The matter is billed for a court session on the 20th of January. And let me put it all out there. And people who are muddying the waters and saying all kinds of things when they have little or no knowledge at all should wait and be educated. There are proceedings in court ostensibly for a deportation order on the back of the fact that ICE are suggesting that Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta is an illegal immigrant. But he is not an illegal immigrant because Ken has put in a petition through his lawyers for an adjustment of his immigration status. At the time that the ICE picked him, they had no knowledge of that petition. And even if they had any knowledge, I must say it was limited. So they were treating him as an illegal immigrant. But he had filed a petition for an extension of his stay and to continue to remain in the United States. Until that process is determined and dealt with by a court of competent jurisdiction in the USA, ICE are disabled from deporting Ken into the country. What is going to happen on the 20th of January is called a notice to appear. The Attorney General's office and all other lawyers who take the commentary on this matter should be cognizant with what happens then. It is purely an administrative immigration process. It has nothing, absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with any extradition proceedings. I heard the Attorney General say somewhere, mingling the two. The lines are distinct and drawn.
Right.
If you are not conversant with the immigration laws in America, you don't speak to them. The notice to appear is a process which is determined.
Right. So you're saying that what the attorney...
Can I? The counterpart lawyers have raised an objection that insofar as Ken is not an illegal immigrant, this proceedings for an order of deportation will not hold. So that is where we are.
Right.
And that will be determined on the 20th of January.
As you mentioned, the Attorney General says that his visa has been revoked, and that is part of the process that he's been working on to get Mr. Ofori-Atta to come back into the country. What is the status? Has his visa been revoked?
Mister, I am not about to respond to what the Attorney General has thrown into the Florida. I have told you that there's a process which is coming on the 20th of January. That is what we are interested in. He is saying that his visa has been revoked. He, the Attorney General of the Republic, is saying that his visa has been revoked, whilst his deputy is saying his visa has expired. I am not going to lend myself to confusionists. Okay? They should put their house in order before they come on the air. He says something, his deputy says otherwise, and you want me to respond to it. What we have is a court process which will be undertaken on the 20th of January. And so, I've told you what exactly that court process is called, a notice to appear.
Right. Lawyer, I understand that. Today is the 12th of January, and you say there is that particular process that will take place later in this month. But as of now, what is it? Is it, you say that Justice Shremsai, the Deputy Attorney General, says that it's expired, the Attorney General says it's revoked. But you tell us, what is it? What is the situation now?
Have I not just told you that Ken put in a petition for an adjustment of his immigration status? Did I not just say that to you? And that he has put in a petition to enable him to continue to remain or stay in the United States legally. What other answer do you want from me, sir?
But I want to understand why that, what's it called? Why that petition?
If you enter any jurisdiction and the period of your stay is coming to an end or is about to lapse, and you have reasonable belief that you need to be in that jurisdiction for a much longer period, what do? You apply. It is a routine.
So his visa, so according to what you're saying, his visa is about to get expired, or what exactly? Or is it expired?
I have said to you it has not expired. How many times do you want me to say that?
No, lawyer, I just need to understand it so that our viewers can also appreciate what we're doing here. Right.
I am telling you what you have to understand, and you are refusing to understand. I am saying just as his visa was about to lapse, he put in a petition for an adjustment of his immigration status. And insofar as that petition is pending and has not been determined, nobody can deport Ken to Ghana. And that process would be dealt with on the 20th of January.
So 20th of January, okay.
Have I made myself clear enough, sir?
Right. I get that understanding now. So with all of this that is happening, lawyer, isn't Mr. Ofori-Atta just supposed to come to the country?
You see, when some of you talk the way you are talking, you are a journalist. When some of you talk the way you are talking, I become very saddened. What do you mean by he should just come?
Why is that so?
No. What is the meaning of that? What do you make out of what you just said? That he should just get up and come to Ghana? Come to Ghana and come and do what?
He's been charged.
Why Ken is still there? Did you know why he's still there?
Why is he still there?
But if you don't know, then don't be asking me the questions you're asking me.
No, I just need a response from you, sir.
I'm saying you are saying he should just get out. Are you not in this country? Don't you know Ken went for surgery and he's recuperating?
Right.
And
I am asking this on behalf of many Ghanaians who are saying that, listen, we need people to be accountable when they are put in positions to govern the country or to run the country. And so if there's a situation like that, he needs to come because he's been charged. He needs to face the law.
No, has Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta not be accountable? Whilst in office, was he not Was he not hauled before Sraj and Yoko and all that? Were you not in this country? Did he not go to those fora? Please, you have asked me a question. Can I answer?
All right, please go ahead, please.
Yeah, were you not in this country? When even the Mosa for censure was brought against him, were you not here? Did he not answer to all the questions? And distribute himself creditably to the administration of all Ghanaians?
Right.
Even as at now, you claim he has been charged. Yes, fine, he's been charged, we all know. Have you asked the appropriate authorities whether he has been notified formally of the charges that have been leveled against him?
He's not been
Let
notified.
us interrogate the issues and stop this business of accountability. Otherwise, is it running away anywhere? Don't you know that Ken is in the United States? Extradition proceedings have been commenced.
Right.
It's been like, so let us see what happens.
Right.
Oh, don't be judgmental and be.
I am not being judgmental, Lawyer Davis. I am not being judgmental. I am just.
Oh, you have been. You have been.
I
haven't. Say Ghanaians are interested. He has to be accountable. Has he not been accountable enough? Did he just elope the jurisdiction?
Right. Lawyer Davis, I am just asking the questions on behalf of Ghanaians. That's all I am doing.
I am also answering the questions on behalf of Ghanaians. Yeah. You think Kenneth Ofori-Atta also is not a Ghanaian? Which audience are you serving? Am I not a Ghanaian?
Right.
Are you not a Ghanaian?
Okay.
So what do you mean by you are asking this question on behalf of Ghanaians? Why
at this point you are speaking for Mr. Ofori-Atta. Lawyer Davis, you are speaking for Mr. Ofori-Atta, so you are responding to questions on behalf of Mr. Ofori-Atta. So
yes.
Right. So we will wait until the 20th of January, as you have mentioned, for that, and then we'll know the status as you have mentioned. Lawyer Frank Davis,
that's exactly what I expect you to tell Ghanaians.
Right. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Right. So here the lawyer Frank Davis is a member of the legal team for the former Finance Minister Kenneth Yaw Ofori-Atta, who is in the ICE that is sent in the U.S. and all the issues. He says that we need to wait till the 20th of January to know the status of the visa of Mr. Ofori-Atta. In studio, Prince Ganaku is there. You can definitely share with us your thoughts on our social media handles, 277 on DSTV, 94.1 FM on radio, and definitely on our Facebook. It is Metro TV Ghana. And let me just share with you some of the chronology of events regarding Mr. Ofori-Atta and what has happened. In fact, just this year. So we understand that on the 6th of January 2026, that was when Mr. Ofori-Atta was arrested by ICE agents around 11 a.m. as he exited his apartment in Northwest Washington, D.C. On January 7, 2026, his lawyers, Menka Premose Bonsu and Bryce Catlin and partners issued a statement saying Mr. Ofori-Atta had a pending petition for adjustment of status allowing him to stay in the U.S. legally beyond his visa period. On January 8, the Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. confirmed the detention of Mr. Ofori-Atta and attempted to provide consular assistance, but he declined, citing his lawyer's presence. Now, on January 10, the Attorney General, Dominic Ayine, revealed that Mr. Ofori-Atta's U.S. visa was revoked in July 2025, and he was given until November 29, 2025 to leave the U.S. And on January 11, Mr. Ofori-Atta, we know, is currently in the custody of ICE at the Caroline Detention Facility in Virginia, facing possible extradition to Ghana over corruption charges related to the SML scandal.
Would Jesus be happy with you on the way you've managed the economy? Finally.
I think it's an issue of willingness and obedience to what Christ would like us to do. Honest, good job done over that period, yes. Holy Spirit guiding us to the things we do, yes. Am I confident that He's leading us in the right direction unequivocally? I think difficult times, His power will emanate, and I'm very confident about where He will take us.
So Jesus is happy with you with how you manage the economy?
You know, it's very difficult to think that one will be holy enough for total acceptance. You're constantly praying that you have the courage and the spirit to go on. But more importantly, you know, in all of this technical stuff, there's a clear love for country and understanding of what somebody like me could become finance minister, and therefore who in Fantiakwa could also do that. And therefore, what should we be doing 18 hours a day to ensure we give that opportunity to people to be able to get to the levels that we are.
Ken,
so
would Jesus be happy with you on how you manage the economy?
It's up to Jesus to declare.
That's what Jesus to declare.
I can do the best that I can, but I'm very just honored and blessed to have this position, and mine is to obey and do the best I can. You know.
Right. So Jesus will be happy with how he managed the economy. That's Mr. Ofori-Atta himself in an interview a few years ago. Right back in studio, we have Prince Ganaku, who is a lawyer, and we want to understand some of the things that are happening regarding Mr. Ofori-Atta's detention in the U.S. And Prince Ganaku, welcome to the program. Happy New Year to you. I kindly put on your microphone so we can. Okay.
Yeah, happy New Year to you too.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
We're gonna try and sort that out so that we can talk to Prince here. But of course, as I mentioned, you can join us on our social media handles at Metro TV Ghana. You know what? Let's play that video again. That interview, that we'll get back.
Kenneth, would Jesus be happy with you on the way you've managed the economy?
This is the first time a minister of state is being called upon to come and give account of your stewardship, and you do not want. A good man leaves inheritance for his children. And is this, you are going to leave for your children and say, your father who was handcuffed, your father who stole our money, your father who refused to account to the good people of Ghana. Is that what he wants? Is that what he wants for his family? That blot on the family. At the end of the day, he will do his generation, his family, even his party. He will do them good by coming.
I believe that if the state has a case against him, the state should go to court and prosecute him in absentia, get a verdict, and then proceed to get him back, like we are waiting for Madam Sedinam Tamakulu to come back.
Okay.
And the states, well, led by the Attorney General, should stop disturbing all of us with this whole matter of his visa has been revoked, and it was revoked in June, and we are not too interested in that matter. And another thing I find quite interesting, that you ask you, what is the MPP doing? I've been asked that question twice, and it just got on my nerves. What is the MPP doing to bring him back? The MPP doing to bring Ken Ofori-Atta back? We are not doing anything. You said he has done something. You have the powers of the state. You have the power, all the powers. If you believe he's truly done something, bring him. Don't come and ask us, the MPP, what we are doing. We are not doing anything. It is not our duty. Ghanaians have not given us that duty. We are not involved.
Right, so those are what our guests had to say about the situation earlier on Good Morning Ghana. And so we're getting to our conversation now. Prince Ganaku, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sure for what is happening for lawyers and for even students of the law, I'm sure this will be a very, very important case study.
It is. We are all observing very, very, very keenly. Yeah.
Right. So you've seen everything that's happening. You heard from lawyer Frank Davis. In this case, as Mr. Ofori-Atta is in a situation with ICE, and the embassy wants to help, and he calls for his lawyer, says that deal with my lawyers because my lawyers are doing. As a lawyer, is that an ideal thing to do in a situation like that?
Well, I can understand why he would take that position.
Right.
The Attorney General is appointed by the ruling government, obviously. He is a member of the previous government.
Right.
For whatever reason, he would feel as though there are political reasons why they want to bring him back and not entirely legal reasons. And given that he is afraid, especially because the government has this oral, policy going on, and he may have concerns that the oral policy may be weaponized unfairly against him.
Right.
He doesn't want to deal with, embassy officials who have also been appointed by the ruling government. So from where he is, because if I was his lawyer, I would say, don't say anything. Wait for me to come, and then we can speak.
Okay.
So from where he sits, and I can understand why he would take that position. Which is not to say I support him taking that position,
Right.
but I understand why.
You can understand why. Okay, right. So right from Ghana, we've had the Attorney General speak over the weekend about this particular issue, talking about the revocation of his visa, and I saw also the Deputy Attorney General speaking and all that. With regards to this particular conversation, a lot of people say that the Attorney General should not be talking a lot. He should rather be showing the work, being done, and not be engaging in, as he will have it, accountability series, speaking to the press, and then, on interviews like that.
That is to me, I find that position disingenuous at best and dishonest at worst.
Really?
Yes, because the Attorney General is also the Minister of Justice.
Right.
So he is the lawyer for and on behalf of the government. And also the Republic. So he not only occupies a legal position as a lawyer, he also occupies a political position as an appointee of the people. And so, and I see that the government has started this accountability series where those who have been appointed by the government, exercising powers in the name of the people of this country, come back and account to the people of this country as to how they have or how they are discharging that mandate. The Attorney General should be no different. He has been appointed to represent the interest of the people of Ghana. There is absolutely nothing wrong in the public interest for him to come and say, okay, this is the power that you have given us, or this is the power that you have given to me. These are the steps that I am taking because this government was brought into power because of the promise of oral. The people of this country had a certain idea about certain things that had happened in the previous administration and wanted to see people held to account. And that is why this government was brought into power. So if the person who has been tasked with executing that job comes to the people of this country and says, I want to tell you how it is going so far, I don't believe there's anything wrong with that. He's entirely within his rights and his powers to do that. And I think it is a desirable thing that should continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he should keep up with that.
Yes.
There's also the conversation about this. So when Mr. Ofori-Atta, the incident happened, we understand that, in fact, you heard me mention his lawyers, and the Attorney General has mentioned that it's put together quite a powerful team in the U.S. to fight all of this. Can we, as a country, do we have that capacity to also match up with what the team is putting up to fight for his defense in the U.S.?
Absolutely. I don't think that there is any difference in competence between lawyers in Ghana and lawyers outside. It's just a subject matter of training. But I don't think there's a difference in competence. Yes, we can absolutely, but it's not for us to go over there and go and make the argument.
Right.
So there are two things going on here.
Okay.
So there is one, the application for him to be extradited, which is an international relations, it's a function of international relations.
Right.
And then there is the issue to do with his visa. We don't know what has happened with his visa. If I had to speculate, I would say, judging from what Mr. Davies said, that either his visa was about to expire or his visa did in fact expire and he had applied for an extension of his stay, if I had to speculate. So deportation, because that application has been denied, is different from the grant of the application to extradite a particular person. Those are two different things.
Okay.
One of them is that you are in our country, the permission that you have to stay in our country has expired. Go back to your country. The other is that another government has applied to us and said that we are prosecuting this person, we are investigating this person, and we need him here.
Need a person to come.
So please send him to us. So those are two different things. Okay. So I just want to draw that distinction between the two. Now, in respect of the extradition, is for us to apply and for them to assess whether there is a case that he has to come and answer. In respect of the deportation, that is something that's for them. That's entirely for the United States to determine whether we want you to stay in our country or we don't want you to stay in our country. So those are two different things. And it appears to me that it is the latter, that there are issues to do with his visa, and he wants to continue staying in the US, but maybe the US government may decide that we don't want you here. Go back to your country. Yeah.
As a lawyer, this extradition thing, of course, I understand that it's about our international relations and all that, but many critics are also of the view that this could have been done earlier, from the quarters of the Attorney General, and why at this point, over a year since coming into office, we still haven't been able to do so.
Oh, so extradition is not a simple thing.
Right.
There are a number of, you see, the country that has the person has to be satisfied that you are not weaponizing extradition to unfairly persecute. So you have to send something called an extradition packet to them for them to assess. Then it will go to a court for the judge to assess. And if it goes through all of these processes and they are minded to extradite, it would still have to go to the Secretary of State for him to give his final stamp of approval. So it's not something that you send a couple of emails and then, no, it has to go through a process. Yes, it goes through a process administratively, judicially, and then again administratively before the person can come. Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot and ask that, what do you make of the legal team for Mr. Ofori-Atta and some of their actions, their statements, and all of that? Has it done some good in defending Mr. Ofori-Atta? Or if you were his lawyer, would you have done something different?
No, so I can't sit here and call the competence of another lawyer into question. There is a brotherhood there's a fraternity of lawyers, and regardless of how we feel about each other, we sort of hold each other down a little bit. But I will say that I won't speak from the perspective of whether I think his lawyers are doing the right thing or not. I will say that Mr. Ofori-Atta himself has to, there are certain dimensions to it, okay? One, if you haven't done anything wrong, just because people are accusing you of something doesn't mean that you have done something for which you can go to jail. Those are two different things.
Okay.
It is entirely possible that Ken Ofori-Atta may have been incompetent, but incompetence is not necessarily the commission of an illegality or a criminal offense. So just because people are saying under your watch we have lost money or the economy went down, doesn't necessarily mean that you have done something criminal. So that's the first thing. So for me, if you haven't done anything wrong, just come and answer to the questions.
But for this one, he's been charged as being...
Yes, you've been charged by the government, but also the government has to prove to the people of Ghana and to the court beyond a reasonable doubt that you have in fact committed a criminal offense.
Right.
So if you've not done anything wrong, the mere fact that the person has been charged does not mean that they are going to be found guilty. So if you haven't done anything wrong, you have a competent legal team. Frank Davis is on his way to becoming a legend in the legal space.
Right.
Come and answer the questions that have been put to you. For me, so that's the first dimension. The second dimension is the longer this thing goes on, the more the reputation of the MPP suffers. And if Ken Ofori-Atta loves the MPP, is grateful to the MPP for putting him in that position, I believe that, look, this is a public relations nightmare for the MPP. The longer this thing goes on, this presidential primaries race that is going to come, those who are not a part of the ruling government, the previous government, are going to raise it. And I'm buying, I'm be this kind of year from Mokramon. So for me, out of love, even if not out of love for the people of Ghana or whatever it is, out of love for the party that appointed you, come and answer the questions. So to me, I genuinely can't fathom why Mr. Ofori-Atta doesn't want to come. It can't be because he's sick. We have hospitals in this country. And you are a member of the previous government. So if you manage this country well, then clearly you left at least one hospital that can take care of you. So come and answer the questions. People do it all the time. Lesser men go to court, answer questions, and are acquitted. So I don't see why Mr. Ofori-Atta, with all his resources and the competent legal minds that are representing him, cannot come and answer the questions. And I'm surprised that some in the NPP are saying that they don't have a responsibility to bring him back. The function of a political party is to win power. The longer this thing drags on, the harder it is going to be for the people of Ghana to trust the NPP. So do what is within your power and convince him to come back.
And you're saying that on the back of what Elena Madaku
mentioned
on Good Morning Ghana today, as to whether the NPP has a role in making sure that
they absolutely have a role. And I think everybody in the NPP knows that if the ex-president or leading members of the party prevail upon him to come in the interest of the party, I think that he should come. I think that he would come.
Right. From your perspective also, there have been talks about the other cases, aside that of Mr. Ofori-Atta, that the Attorney General should be looking at. Looks like too much energy, and he has promised that there's going to be fair hearing and all that. But for sympathizers of Mr. Ofori-Atta, they think that this is a witch hunt, sort of.
Oh, when Real Madrid is playing and Charlton Athletic is playing, which one draws more viewers? The fact is that Mr. Ofori-Atta was a high-profile member of the previous administration. The Attorney General is not going to come and talk about somebody that stole a goat somewhere in Kwanta. That's not what is going to happen. The Attorney General is going to speak about, what is most topical. And presently, Mr. Ofori-Atta's extradition process, the publicity around it, is what is most topical. And as a journalist, you will know that the people of Ghana are asking questions.
Right.
The people of Ghana are not asking questions about the small fry. They are asking questions about Ken Ofori-Atta, because remember, corruption is a national security issue.
Yes.
Corruption is a national security issue. When the people of this country get the impression that there are certain people that are too big to face justice, and that as from or that people can loot this country and get away with it scot-free, whereas maybe a person who has stolen a good will get a custodial sentence of a few years. When that perception begins to creep in and becomes normalized, that becomes a national security issue. So it makes total sense that the Attorney General comes to the people of Ghana and says, we are not shielding these persons. We are doing everything we can, but the person has put in certain steps or is doing everything he can to evade capture. But notwithstanding, these are the steps that we are taking. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. He has to do that in the interest of national security. He has to do it.
Okay. Right, if we just we're speaking to Prince Ganaku, he's a lawyer, sharing with us his thoughts on the legal processes regarding the issue of the former Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and his detention in the USA. We spoke to a member of his legal team, lawyer Frank Davis, who shared some updates with us that on the 20th of January, that's what we're going to know the status of a petition that Mr. Ofori-Atta put in so he could continue staying in the US, which Prince has helped us, establish that is like a different case with the US. And of course, when your visa expires and you stay illegally in the country, that happens. But also, we've been talking about the extradition and what the consular in the US, Ghana's embassy in the US, tried to do to help Mr. Ofori-Atta, and then he said that he didn't need any of that. Right. The whole process, Prince, the whole process from the beginning, the chase of Mr. Ofori-Atta, all of that, is being handled well?
So I have my reservations about how and why Mr. Ofori-Atta was allowed to leave this country in the first place.
Right.
As a lawyer, I have done cases involving amounts less than 200,000, 300,000, and they immediately take your passport. And if you try and get another pass, or then they put a stop list on you at immigration. Right. The moment you try to travel, even on holiday, you are told to come back. So it is incredibly surprising to me that Mr. Ofori-Atta was allowed to leave the country. I don't know why that happened, but that's the only reservation that I have with the entire process. But everything else, I'd have no complaints.
Okay, right. So there's no You're okay?
I have absolutely not. The only thing I have a complaint about, and I'm trying to understand, again, is lesser men have issues that pale. Keep in mind, the SML scandal involves sums exceeding 1 billion Ghana cedis. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Okay, right. So we're still on Good Afternoon. Prince is going to continue, and we've been making efforts to, get to the US and understand from our embassy there what's been happening. But of course, lawyer Frank Davis says that the embassy is what they did was not needed. It wasn't necessary.
Oh, that is also disingenuous. With the greatest of respect to my learned, very learned senior, that is quite disingenuous. As you pointed out to him, the job of the embassy outside this country is to provide assistance to citizens who are over there. It is entirely within Mr. Ofori-Atta's purview to say that he declines the offer of assistance, but to say that the Ghanaian embassy in the US is not supposed to make that offer of assistance strikes me a little bit as disingenuous, with the greatest of respect to my learned senior. Yeah. So yes, that's really what I have to say in respect of that. I don't think that comment was justified. Yeah.
Right, and a few days ago, we saw some pictures, and this is just a little bit away from just Mr. Ofori-Atta to some Ghanaians who've been taken to that particular center.
Detention center.
Yeah, the detention center, and how the embassy was trying to assist them in situations like that's just what they're supposed to do.
That is the job of the embassy, to provide assist. That is why we have embassies in other countries. So I don't know if you remember this, but when the Russia-Ukraine war happened, a lot of the liaison that happened between both countries in respect of our citizens who were going to school over there was with the embassy in the country in question. So that's why we have embassies in other countries, so that those embassies can provide assistance to citizens in those countries. Ken Ofori-Atta is a citizen, regardless of whatever else is happening. Ken Ofori-Atta is a citizen of this country. We don't sell out one of our own to foreigners. So even if we don't like you in our own house, if something is happening to you outside the country, it is our duty to ensure that you are okay. If we want to worry you here, we can worry you here, but we won't allow somebody else to worry you over there. It's not done. So they acted well within their rights and powers, and I think any suggestion that the offer of assistance was unnecessary strikes me entirely as disingenuous, with the greatest, once again, with the greatest of respects to my learned senior.
With the greatest of respect, as Prince puts it. We're taking a break. When we come back, we continue to stay with us here.
Healthy soil is where every great harvest begins. At ACAP, we turn waste into wealth, producing rich organic compost made right here in Ghana for our farmers and our future. Whether you are planting small or big, ACAP compost improves your soil, boosts your yields, and saves you money. Even in your own home garden, give your soil life naturally. ACAP compost, from waste to wealth.
No matter how convenient it may seem, tossing your litter out of the car is a bad habit. Aside the potential in causing road accidents, It's bad for the environment. Let's keep our roads safe and clean. Keep a trash bag in your vehicles for your litters.
Welcome back. This is Good Afternoon, Ghana, and we're here. My name is Desmond Okrekudan. So we're still talking about, that is the former Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and all that is happening with him in the United States, the help of the Ghana Embassy in the U.S. Trying to do that. We still also have Prince Ganakuye as a lawyer, and we've been talking to him and about this situation. But one of the questions that lots of people, Prince, have been asking is that, why does it look like it's a difficult task for this? Of course, we know it's a process, but when it comes to the U.S. and some of these things, we can give it to them when they ask for them, but it is difficult for things like that to happen from their context, as we're seeing with Mr. Ofori-Atta. Why is it so?
Well, generally speaking,
right.
I think that it takes longer for these things to happen when it is the U.S. who has to do something for you. I guess that the argument is that they require a very, very high bar because once again, they don't want you to use their processes to persecute somebody, because the U.S. has positioned itself as this bastion of democracy and human rights.
Right.
So if it looks like they are facilitating the persecution of political opponents, then it harms their reputation. So it takes a while for these things to happen, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Once the bar has been reached, we've given them the extradition packets for them to know that, this is not a frivolous case. This is a real criminal case that he has to come and answer questions. Eventually, I believe that he will be extradited, unless, for whatever reason, he is able to demonstrate to the judge over there that something is wrong with the process, that, or this is a political persecution thing. If he's able to demonstrate that to them, then they may not be inclined to. But I will say that even if the judge agrees that he has a question to come and answer,
right,
it all falls on the Secretary of State, ultimately Marco Rubio's department, to determine whether or not they want to. And that has there are a whole number of factors that go into it. He could just have a relationship with Ken Ofori-Atta and say, you know what, he's my friend, though. And there's really nothing that we can do.
And I like the AG has mentioned that he's going to give him fair hearing,
yes,
and all of those.
Yes.
I'm sure
yes.
those can help with the situation. I was just going over the press statement from the embassy again, and what lawyer Frank Davis also said. I think I probably should have asked him if the embassy has gotten in touch with the lawyers. Yeah, because when they went in there, he said he wanted to speak with the lawyers first, or the embassy should deal with the lawyers. Right?
Yes.
And so I should have asked if they have done so. And, well, the statement says the embassy promised to remain in contact. So hopefully they can...
No. And he didn't do anything wrong there. As lawyers, one of our biggest nightmares is when your client is dealing with the authorities and goes in there and makes statements without you being there. It's one of our biggest nightmares. So for him, as you know, a person who is subject to a criminal investigation or criminal proceedings, it is entirely within his rights to say, I don't want to make any statements without my lawyers. So if you want anything, please deal with my lawyers. Whatever my lawyers say I should say, I'll tell them, and then they will tell you. He's entirely within his rights to do that. I don't think, maybe the optics of it is bad, especially for some of us who say, if you haven't done anything wrong, just come. For some of us, the optics look bad, but legally, what he did was actually quite sound. Defer to your lawyers at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming from a lawyer, this is so defer the situation to your lawyers.
If you are dealing with any state agency, defer to your lawyers at all times.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, as a lawyer, if I was his lawyer,
Right.
I would be very, very happy that that was the response that he
Right.
gave. I wouldn't want him to inadvertently go and say something that may be used against him if I was his lawyer. But as a member of the Ghanaian citizenry who is interested in accountability, personally, if you haven't done anything wrong, just come.
And I think the next statement we would want to see from the embassy is that of if they're speaking to the lawyers, if they have engaged the lawyers on the next line of action, what next is going to happen. It'll be interesting to see that.
Oh, I mean, it's assistance they want to offer.
Yes.
So if the lawyers say, oh, don't worry, we don't need your assistance, we can handle it ourselves, that's fine.
Oh.
It's assistance that the embassy wants to offer.
Okay.
So if the lawyers say, oh, don't worry, we have it in hand, well in hand, don't worry, we are okay, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. Unless the extradition has been approved and he's supposed to come. As for that one, he will come. You understand? That's for that one, he will come. And he will come in conjunction with the U.S. authorities and the Ghanaian embassy, and they will bring him. But for now, my understanding is that his visa has either expired or is about to expire, and he's looking for an extension, which has not yet been granted. So there's a possibility that he may be deported for overstaying.
True.
That is what it is. And as for that, our embassy say, oh, we want to help you. And he says, no, I have lawyers. And the lawyers to say, we don't need your help, embassy. They are perfectly able to do that.
So all eyes will be on next week, Wednesday, the 20th of January, for that court ruling.
Yes.
To see what happens, whether there will be a stay for him, and we will, definitely see what happens with that. But of course, you can engage us, join us. The phone line has been open. You can share your thoughts with us. You heard from lawyer Frank Davis. He's a member of the legal team for Ken Ofori-Atta. So share with us your thoughts. Please, if you call, make sure that you lower the volume of your set and speak to me via the phone, right? Speak to me via the phone so we can have a conversation. Share your thoughts respectfully, and then we continue with the conversation here. So that's the number on your screen now. You can also send in your messages on our social media platforms at Metro TV Ghana and be part of that, right? All right, so we have our very first caller on the phone. Hello, good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. What's your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Kevin. My name is Kevin.
Okay,
I'm calling from Kevin.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, my understanding of what is happening is his visa, if your visa had not expired, you will not be arrested in Europe or in US if you've not committed any offense. And if your visa is yet to expire, you will still not be arrested. Why will you be arrested if your visa is not expired? According to the Attorney General, his visa was revoked. Hence, he's been arrested. But it doesn't make sense for someone to say his visa is about to expire. Hence, he was arrested. Where is that in that? Who does that? You understand?
Right.
So his visa was actually revoked according to the Attorney General. And he was given some time frame to leave the country. And once you be given a time frame to leave the country and you not, you'll be arrested. And that is what has happened.
Right. Thank you very much for calling. That's quite an interesting angle. I mean, when I asked lawyer Frank Davis, he mentioned that when it was about to expire. So I kept asking him, has it expired or it's been revoked? Says when it was about to expire, and then he put in that application.
He was less than clear. My learned senior was less than clear.
He wasn't clear
I was here. You pressed him on what the situation is today.
Right.
And he was less than clear about what.
Let's get on to the phone lines. Isaac from Wager. Hi, Isaac. Speak to us.
Yes, I'm really enjoying the program. The lawyer seated there is really educating us, and I like the way he speaks.
Right.
For Ken Ofori-Atta, I don't really know what his problem is. You served the country, and you asked to come back and just come and account to the people you served. When you were not well, you said you served Ghana, come what may. Now you were asked to come, and he said, I am not well. It is time to come. I don't know what the MPPs are looking for. It is a simple thing. Come and account to the people. So this their flag bearership race and the whole. I find it difficult to understand what they think. It would have been. It is best in their interest to rather push the agenda, support it. Nana Akufo-Addo, his cousin, must speak to Ken Ofori-Atta to come and account. In fact, MPP. I don't think MPP will come to power if they will continue this way, because this thing, even our children that are Afghan, they have got to know about it and they are really asking questions. A 5-year-old boy asking the father, when is Ken Ofori-Atta going to come? How does that serve the MPP? It is sad.
Right.
So this is a spike something visa, we don't even care about it. The man should do the honorable thing. When he was mentioning Jesus Christ, quoting the Bible to us, he should do the honorable thing, calm down.
Right.
This is a simple task.
Right, Isaac, thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you very much, Isaac, for tuning in and definitely calling to share your thoughts there. You can also give us a call and share with us what your thoughts are on this particular case. If you just tuned in, we're talking about the Ken Ofori-Atta situation where he is in the center or detention center in the U.S. The Ghana embassy in the U.S. tried, assisting. Well, it was declined that you should speak to the lawyers first and all of that. And we spoke to lawyer Frank Davis earlier, who is a member of the legal team. Let's get onto the phone lines again. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right, your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm from Tamale.
Right, please go ahead.
Well, the lawyers are not helping former finance minister. Listen to them. If they are very arrogant, they are not helping him. They should come again. Serious. What they are doing is affecting the NPP party. It's going to affect our party.
Oh, so you're a member of the NPP?
I'm sorry.
So you're a supporter of the NPP? Okay, I think we've lost him there. And it was interesting to hear him saying our party. So I would have put the question about how this needs to be sorted as soon as possible. As you mentioned, it's always going to be an affiliation with the NPP, right, in this particular case, right? So, interesting one. Right, so to all our callers, and of course, all the way from Tamale, thank you very much for calling. We have another caller on. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for calling. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Stephen. I'm calling from Labone.
Your name is?
Stephen, calling from Labone.
Stephen from Labone. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you're looking sharp, and thanks for bringing the lawyer.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, Ken have a history. When you look at his father, and it seems like these people came to wreck this country deliberately, and he knew the consequences of his action. Because you see, let's look at something. For instance, if I am with a woman and I pay her dowry, and then later on they find out that she is pregnant, and I knew that I impregnated her, and her family are calling me to come and ask me as to if I'm the one who is impregnated her or not. If I knew I impregnated her, wouldn't I answer? Wouldn't I come and answer? So the point I'm making is this. Ken knew what he did, and he knew his actions. So he running away, it is not something that he's just hiding under his medical whatever, but he knew that he's guilty. I am not trying to be a judge over here, but looking at what he did to this country, he knew he knew the actions of the consequences of his action. And I believe the Attorney General too, even though I know he's doing a great job, but he should speed up things, because we are eager to hear and see the end of this whole thing. We want to see the end of this matter, because this guy came and penalize Ghanaians. Look at me, for instance, like this.
Right.
Working as a young man, and I'm sending money to my sister or to my mother, and then they are taxing me when even he himself have not even created a job for me. When I'm sending money to someone or a gift to someone, can you imagine that?
Stephen, thank you very much.
And now they're asking you now the cathedral. Let me say this for instance.
Shortly.
Let me say this. Now, Nana Akufo-Addo, the former president of our Republic of Ghana, made a vow with God, and now it became like we the Ghanaians were now paying. Now come and answer, what did you use the money for? And why are you not coming? Why are you not coming? Why are you not coming? Why are you running away from answering these questions? The PEDs, all the things that you did for this country, you did against this country. They say come and answer. If you are not guilty, I mean, you will just come and answer, and then you go back to the US. If that's where you want to go and stay, if you want to go and live there for the rest of your life, you come and answer.
Stephen, thank you
just
very much.
Just come and answer, then.
Stephen, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you.
So I just want to,
there are quite a number of people on the line, so please you do that quickly, and then we'll move on, Prince.
So I just want to point out the point I was making about this being a public relations nightmare. We have had 4 callers so far. All of them are concluding that the reason he's not coming is because he has done something wrong and he's running away.
Okay. We have another caller on. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Sidi Ibrahim, calling from Boko.
Oh, from Boko. How is Boko though?
Boko is fine. And you?
Great. We thank God for that. Please go ahead with your submission.
About the finance minister. I don't know what has he make link with the MPP party when the guy is talking about MPP. How can for instance he should link with MPP? Because he's a minister of state. The party is different from Oforiatta. So I don't know how much they link it with the MPP, but it's a must that he should come and answer whatever he did for the country. He should come and account for that. But it doesn't link to the MPP party. Thank you so much.
But the argument would be that he served under the NPP.
But he's serving for Ghanaians, not MPP.
Okay.
He's serving for Ghanaians, not MPP.
Right. Thank you very much for your thoughts there. Right. So that's his opinion. That's what he thinks. And of course, that's what we're doing here. So you can just call and share your thoughts with us here on Good Afternoon Ghana today. It's been very an insightful day, actually, on the show, hearing from the lawyers and, of course, Prince Ganaku in studio here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Idris. I'm calling from Tamale.
From Tamale, right. Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah.
Please go ahead with your submission.
It's so surprising that MPP have now found voices to be calling on them to come. When they have zero voices to call on Sigma to come, the hypocrisy must stop in this country. Sigma was tried in absentia. Can they apply same on 10? Why are they insisting on his physical presence in Ghana before he can be tried? The hypocrisy must stop. Senator is still in exile. She hasn't returned. They should call on Senator Tamaklo to come and serve under them. They are now in office. They think Ghanaians are kids. They are doing politics with all these things. Nobody is saying Ken shouldn't be tried. But the same way Senator Tamaklo was tried, can they try Ken the same way? They should try him too as well. You see, so that we will know that they are not up on the vengeance spree. Otherwise, calling on Ken, they want him to come so that they will torture him like the way they have been treating MPP supporters. This hypocrisy must stop. There are civil society groups who always shout on top of their voices calling for justice. Can they call on Tamaklo to also come and serve? These things must stop in this country. It's so good.
Right. All right. Thank you very much for calling and sharing your thoughts with us here on the show. The phone number is on there. You can call and share your thoughts with us here. And we appreciate all our callers from Boko, Tamale.
Hello?
And, yes. Hello. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How are you?
I'm okay. Please, your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Al-Hassan. I'm calling from Bolaga.
Al-Hassan from Bogatanga. Right. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
This program I'm watching about Forata or something like that. The way the matter is going, we don't even understand. if they give you work, when you finish and they didn't pay you, complain. But when they give you work and they pay you, you finish, you didn't do the work well, come and answer questions and you are running away. Why are you running? And somebody right now too was saying that it's not a matter of MPP, it's not a matter of what. It's a matter of MPP. They should call the man himself to come and answer the questions. No, there is no need for anybody to say it's not a matter of MPP. MPP are in power to serve we Ghanaians. But Electoral is part of MPP. So right now, the former President Akufo-Addo should just try his best, advise the Kevin to come and then answer the question, or else it really is going to affect them. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. If you're listening on radio, it's 94.1 FM, 94.1 FM. You can listen to us. So if you think you're leaving home and you're going to miss the rest of the show, do not worry. We're live on radio, 94.1 FM, and of course on Metro TV Ghana on Facebook and DSTV channel 277. And of course, we're on Multi TV, right? So make sure you just search Metro TV on there and follow the conversation. Prince, we're hearing from our callers, and everybody's asking, why are you running?
The caller that made the analogy of the pregnancy, I thought he was going in an entirely different direction. Because I thought he was going to say, if the paternity of the child is disputed, and they say come and do DNA test,
why?
And you refuse to do DNA test, and why are you refusing to do it? So I thought that's where he was going to go with that.
But someone adds that there should be speeding up of the process, from the Attorney General.
For that, it is entirely within the purview of the American authorities.
Right.
There's not really much. All we can do for our side is provide them with the documentation that they need to make a decision. After that, it's out of our hands. Unless we have some leverage, we are negotiating something with the US, and then we say, okay, bring him, and then we'll do this other thing for you. Other than that, really, it's in their hands.
Someone also mentioned that, why can't he be tried in the US?
Oh, he's being accused of
something
local laws.
So in terms of jurisdiction?
Yes,
and all
yes,
okay.
Exactly. In terms of jurisdiction, he's a Ghanaian citizen who is being accused of breaking Ghana's laws. So if anything, he's going to be tried here. In terms of being tried in absentia, that is a last resort thing, because under our constitutional jurisprudence, it is considered the fairest possible trial if you come and face your accusers and say your part. So for us to try you in absentia means that we've done everything.
Everything.
It is a measure of last resort, and there's always an asterisk behind convictions done in absentia, because you find that whenever there are tools that are usually used in like military regimes or in dictatorships. We don't really do that under a constitutional dispensation. Usually, we would prefer that you come and face your accusers, whatever they are saying against you, you look them in the eye, and then you say your side, and then the judge determines. So that's how our constitutional architecture is set up.
Well, someone also says that the lawyers can stand in for him.
No.
That cannot happen.
No, it cannot happen.
Okay.
No, it cannot happen.
Prince, any final thing you want to add with respect to this particular conversation as we wrap up?
I think lawyers will do what lawyers do. His lawyers will do their best to preserve his liberty, whether or not he has done something wrong. But I will say that his handlers should be mindful of there's a legal aspect to it, and there's a public perception aspect to it. And, the MPP is bigger than one person. The fortunes of this country are bigger than one person. So truly, his handlers should be mindful of that. I'm not saying that Mr. Ofori-Atta has done anything wrong. I'm even minded to believe that he hasn't done anything wrong, because in Ghana, is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So if you have not done anything wrong, just come and explain to everybody why you haven't done anything wrong, and you'll be acquitted. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Prince, thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure talking to you. So Prince Ganaku is a private legal practitioner who joined us today as we looked at some of the legal issues surrounding Mr. Ofori-Atta's detention in the U.S. Right. So we've got a few minutes to wrap up on the show. So we're heading to our next conversation. That is about the statement put out by the finance minister that the government has cleared some 1.4 million billion, sorry, $1.4 billion debt in the energy sector. Let's see what he posted on his socials this morning as we speak to Benjamin Insia. Right, so let's take a look at that particular story and then we continue with the conversation.
To the Ministry of Finance, the Mahama administration inherited an energy sector burdened by years of unpaid gas bills, particularly from supplies from the offshore Cape 3 Points field. The non-payment, the ministry noted, led to the complete depletion of the World Bank's $500 million partial risk guarantee, which had been established in 2015 to support the Sankofa gas project and attract private sector investment. As of December 31, 2025, government says it has fully repaid over $597 million, including interest drawn on the guarantee, effectively restoring the facility and Ghana's credibility with international partners. In addition, outstanding gas invoices of about $480 million owed to ENI and Vitol have also been settled, with budgetary measures put in place to prevent future arrears. The ministry describes the intervention as a major turnaround for Ghana's energy sector and a signal of renewed fiscal discipline. The ministry stated that the government has also engaged upstream partners, including Tullow Oil and Jubilee Field partners, to agree on a roadmap that ensures full payment of gas supplied, supports reliable electricity generation, and boosts industrial growth. It added that increased gas production has already been achieved through these engagements aimed at reducing reliance on expensive liquid fuels. The Finance Ministry assured the public and industry stakeholders that adequate budgetary provisions have been made to sustain timely payments going forward.
Right, so that's the story about the energy sector debt and what the finance minister mentioned, that it's all being cleared. Now, let's take a look at the independent power generators, and they're actually commending the government. So it says that confirmation of settlement of legacy arrears and renewed commitment to energy sector stability. The clearance of these long outstanding obligations, including the payments made in 2025 to the independent power generators, represents a major milestone in restoring financial stability and operational confidence across the power sector. This achievement reflects decisive leadership, disciplined fiscal management, and a clear commitment by government to resolve any inherited structural challenges that have constrained the sector for several years. These actions have sent a powerful signal to both domestic and international investors that Ghana is firmly committed to honoring its contractual obligations, strengthening sector governance, and rebuilding credibility in its power market. As a result, investor confidence in Ghana's energy sector has been meaningfully restored, positioning the country to attract new capital, technology, and long-term partnerships. The IPGs reaffirm our unwavering commitment to Ghana's energy security, economic transformation, and industrial development. We pledge our full cooperation with government and all sector agencies to sustain reliable power supply, support sector reforms, and promote efficiency, transparency, and value for money across the power value chain. Right, so that's from the independent power generators. They're commending the government for clearing the debt. Quite interesting words in that particular statement. But Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam also posted this morning on his Facebook. Let's take a look at that, because he's saying that the government is playing PR with this particular debt. This is not the first time this is happening. So this is what he said, responding to government's clearance of the 1.4 billion energy sector debt. Says that the NDC government does PR with everything. Paying energy sector debts of $1.4 billion is not new. As captured in the 2025 budget presented, by the NDC government. The previous NPP government paid $1.4 billion of the energy sector debt in 2024 without making noise about it. Now let's get on to Zoom now and speak to Benjamin Insia. He's an energy analyst and director for the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your time here on the show. Hello, Mr. Insia.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Great. So we woke up this morning, we saw the news. What was your reaction to that?
Was the defrayment of the energy sector into the part of sustainability, and we must commend various actors who have ensured that this debt is defrayed once and for all.
Right. The debts being there, what was the implication of that to the energy sector?
So one was that we were not able to modernize the sector, especially aging infrastructure. There was not ability to modernize because such revenues meant for the development of the sector was rather diversified into paying legacy debt to the Ghanaian petroleum end user has been paying these legacy debt on petroleum prices since 2015. Three, we could not accelerate the expansion of electricity to every household across the country because of our inability to defray this sector debt, because any revenue that government would have used to accelerate the expansion of electricity to every household was diversified into paying these annual shortfalls of the sector. And three, it puts the sector in a very risky position because at any point in time, you are thinking of defraying debt, especially if the cedi depreciates. It puts these debt in cedi figures at higher levels, demanding fiscal response to them. So I think that it was very risky for the sector.
Right. So for me now, the confidence that this brings to the sector, as we read from the IPJs, they're saying that this is good. This is going to bring back confidence to investors. It's a good thing for the country.
It is not only to the private independent or private power producers, or what we call independent power producers, generators. Right. Not only to them. I think the whole system is going to attract the needed investment to modernize and also expand accessibility to electricity, and also ensure that within the medium and long term, power generation is sustainable, power transmission is very sustainable, and also distribution is also sustainable, because now any investor that wants to come into the sector has no risk to fear, or has no any fear or anxiety of certain debt or certain liabilities that government may not be able to defray, and the sector is now risk-free. So I think that not only to the generators or the private generators, but any investor who wants to come into the Ghanaian energy system from generation to distribution will now have a full assurance that if you are owed, in future you'll be paid, if not even today. And government is capable of defraying its debt. So the needed investment will be brought in. And I think that, as I indicated earlier, Ghana is now going to the new phase of electricity modernization or system modernization, system expansion, and sustainability in terms of electricity distribution.
Right. The statement from the IPGs also, if you look at the second paragraph, it says clearance of long outstanding obligations, and then continues to say that this achievement reflects decisive leadership, disciplined fiscal management, and a clear commitment by government to resolving inherited structural challenges. The government came in just about a year ago, and the IPGs are saying such about the government. For me, it's quite interesting to hear from from them, saying that.
Yes, I think that they will say that, but for those of us in the industry have followed this sector areas since 2015, and various governments have played various roles in defraying these debts. Sometimes in 2017, the government of Ghana took certain facilities to defray both power sector and the petroleum sector debt. Just 2024, the government of Ghana was able to defray $1.4 billion debt. So various ministers and various governments have tried their possible best. Because if you look at most of the documents in the sector, if we take the Energy Sector Recovery Program document, it stated as at 2019 that the debt was around $2.1 billion. And if government did nothing about it, the debt would have ballooned to around $12 billion in 2023. So if the debt did not balloon to $12 billion and this particular government just defrayed $1.4 billion, it meant that various ministers and various government appointees manning the Energy Ministry and the Finance Ministry have played critical role in resolving this particular legacy debt, and have also played critical role in ensuring that power purchase agreements are renegotiated to value proposition levels and levels that indicate value for money. And we must commend each within these systems that have ensured that we are now debt-free in the power sector.
Right, a final one before we wrap up. Since the minister came in, the finance minister, the energy minister, 1 year on, how would you say that they have performed in the sector?
I think they've done well. Mostly in the sector, what we look at is the supply or the flow of power. I think that in terms of interruptions, we've not observed much frequency in terms of interruptions, and in terms of duration, there has not been too much outages or long time outages in the system for the last 1 year. So it is commendable, and there's that reliability in the flow or supply of power to various households and firms. Beyond the power sector also has to do with the petroleum sector. I think the Ministry of Energy has to do a lot, being very innovative in ensuring that we attract the needed investment to recover the losses or the declining petroleum upstream sector. We're doing about 71 million barrels a year in 2019. As at 2025, we're now doing around 36 million barrels. It means that the sector is in comatose or likely collapsing, and we need to reverse this declining phase. And I think the minister needs to be very innovative. I know that they are putting a lot of efforts, but a lot of efforts must come with speed. In terms of green transition, I've not seen much from them because the ministry is also energy and green transition. If you look at the 2025 budget, they talked of 35 mini hydros. I think they need to ensure that they're able to complete some of these things within the shortest possible time. But in all, I think that the Ministry of Finance has also done well, because the appreciation of the cedi against the dollar and also ensuring that there's availability of dollar for petroleum importers to import products into the country has also ensured that the export price has reduced drastically from around 14 Ghana cedis, 70 pesos to 10 Ghana cedis, 60 pesos per liter.
Right. Thank you very much for your time here and insight. Benjamin Isia is an energy analyst and also the executive director for the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy. And that is how we wrap up on the show for today. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Desmond Okrekudan. So do well to follow us on our social media handles at Metro TV Ghana. And to all our callers, we appreciate you. Catch you tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
What at all does he see in her that he's not seeing in me? Look at me.
Eugene and Anekia made a choice.
You won't believe what Pam and Anekia have done to me. Or staying, abstain. Why abstain?
I have been seeing through your shenanigans all night.
I thought I told you that I didn't want to see that girl in this house again.
I'm sorry, Cinnamon.
You have lost. I've won the battle. Get over it.
Battle?
Whiny.
I like you very much. That's why I brought him this.
Protect me?
Yes, I'm ready to listen to you.
Eugene Clark. That boy. That womanizer.
You are old enough. I would like you to man up to choose among these two.
Now, the baby is baby. So you are coming to come and see.
Sometimes I just sit and then regret what really happened.
Take care to prevent pregnancy.
Just stop it. They have to pay for what they've done to me.
Be ready for the storm coming up for you.